If sufficient numbers of you are engaged in the process, they will be too scared to come. How many talks do they have? We are more than them. 2023 is pivotal on several levels. It might be the only opportunity we have to avoid living under the gun as a people. Already in several parts of Nigeria, life is nasty, short, and brutish.
Hello, my great and wonderful people. We welcome you once again to our today's episode of this program. And today we get some videos for our table. We want to be say one quickly the review to una concerning the things we want to be say if they happen right now for inside this country, Nigeria. The first video we want to be say with the review to you, just as you don't already see small right from the introduction. Now the latest video interview we're going to be say we receive from this human rights lawyer and also activist we're going to be say in name now barrister Dele Farotimi. The one we're going to be say it take come outside of the latest to review to Nigerians waiting they need to know and also to do concerning 2023 general election. I beg, we want to beg you for one favor, like this video. Because now the only way we want to be say YouTube will fit help us recommend this video to every one of us all over the world. The more this video get likes, the more that they recommend them to people. Now their own policy be that very one because this kind of video, it need to go round to each and every one of us anywhere we want to be say we did. We need to be informed concerning this 2023 general election. All right, after this very one, we also get another one we'll be say we they receive from the presidential candidate of Labour Party, we're going to be say in name now Peter Obi, and so many others, if we get time to showcase them all to you. All right, first of all, I will leave you now to watch the full interview of this video we're going to be say we receive from Dele Farotimi. We'll come back for the conclusion.
To continue on the old trajectory, keep doing things the way we've been doing it for the last 62 years, or you are interested in traveling in a different direction, that decision is exclusively yours. The Nigerian ruling class is obliged to pretend that we are a democracy every 4 years. So this time around, we have to play the game of pretense again. We are a democracy. So because they say we are a democracy, you have to remember your PVC. When you have your PVC, you have to ignore the lies they will tell you about ethnicity, about religion, all the things that they have used to divide you whilst they themselves have not been divided. You must of necessity remember each and every one of those things when it is time to take the decision. There are only two ways to change a country, especially this our own country. We are faced with two choices. Is either the gun or is your PVC. You are going to have to decide which one is going to be. But our current trajectories are unsustainable, and Nigeria will eventually collapse if we kept traveling on the path that we are logged into. So we have a choice. Because of these young ones that I saw earlier on coming to minister to us, because of these little ladies out with the mom, because of some of us who have children, a lot of us here, we close our eyes and we envision a better future for Nigeria than what we have. But it's not going to happen because we sat still in one corner and we believe that it's none of our business and we became disengaged from the process. 2019, 27-point-something million voted out of a voting population of, I believe, 81 million. That meant that only a third voted in that election. When such low numbers participate in the process, it becomes easy to manipulate. It also becomes easy to buy votes. It also becomes easy. I'm told that in this particular neighborhood in 2019, people were prevented from voting. That was because people were not particularly engaged. If sufficient numbers of you are engaged in the process, they will be too scared to come. How many talks do they have? We are more than them, but we can only discover our numbers when we stand, thank you, when we stand our watch. I will stand my watch. That is an active decision. It's not passive. There is nothing passive about watching. They say, sit down, look. Sit down, look is not passive. You have to decide to stay awake to look. So this one that we have been doing since all these years, where we have made victims of ourselves by our refusal to engage with the system, it has to stop. 2023 is pivotal on several levels. It might be the only opportunity we have to avoid living under the gun as a people. Already in several parts of Nigeria, life is nasty, short, and brutish. I would like to close by bringing something to us, and I thank the survivors who have come up here to share their experiences. I wasn't part of NSAS. When I saw it, about 2 days ago, on the anniversary, Facebook reminded me. I asked them 2 years ago, I said, "The lazy youth, are you planning a revolution or what? Because this doesn't look like a protest anymore." If we didn't plan a revolution in 2020 and people were murdered senselessly and their humanities are being denied because the state continues to deny what its own panel of inquiry has unanimously agreed happened. Let us be clear, the Lekki panel was exclusively peopled by persons nominated directly by the Lagos state government. I believe there are a total of 7 of them, and out of those 7, about 3 came directly from the Ministry of Justice. 2 of them have become judges after the panel sitting. It was a unanimous decision. It was clear and unambiguous in finding that there was a massacre. So every time you open your mouth, whether you are here or you are online or you see this later on, and you deny that there was a murder on the evening, or rather a massacre on the, I believe it started at 6:43 p.m. on 2020. As Ayo has already pointed out, it was happening in several other parts of Lagos before that time. But killing has become a way of life in our country, and human life has ceased to matter to our government. But if it matters to us as individuals, it is time that we took our own lives in our hands. Understand clearly that if Nigeria is going to change, if anything will change for the better, it would be because you decided that it is time to change this country. The ruiners of Nigeria will not change it. They prosper by our pains. So it is up to us. I beg you, I don't want to, you've already telling me time up, but I need to exit with a plea to all of you. If you think you are too big for politics, MC Oluoma will be your next governor. Mushroom picking will govern your state if you continue to exclude yourselves. So I beg you, those of you who have an estranged relationship with your PVC, go and make up with your PVC. Stop the quarrel. Speak to those in your circle. Let them understand the importance of 2023. It doesn't mean that every Nigerian problem will be cured, but at least we can begin the journey to sanity.
All right, my great and wonderful people. Truly, we just need to leave that video for us to play in full so that you will understand the full details of the message when we say this man, they try to pass across. I believe you yourself don't hear the message one after the other. Yes, Nigerians, you and me, we have a role to play. We don't need to neglect this very movement of 2023 for anybody. No way. If there anything must change, it day for your hand and it day for my hand. All right, I will leave you now to share your own opinion with us for the comment section, even as I leave you to watch the next video when it be with the receiver from Peter Obi, when it be the presidential candidate of Labour Party. I'll come back.
It's good to have you here. Well, you called for suspension of campaign activities, and you provided the lead in that regard. And you visited some parts of the country, Anambra East, Anambra West. Okay, what has been your experience? And what do you say to the allegation by some of your critics that you have been given only, is it 24 or 12 loaves of bread, and that you have been stingy in providing support? Can you tell us how many loaves of bread that you provided and what your experience has been, on your tours?
Ruben, thank God we're able to laugh today. I can tell you what Nigeria is going today in terms of this flooding is far, far more devastating than it seems. For those of us who haven't experienced it. Ruben, I was part of the 2012 flooding. This is far more than 2012. You can even see it in death. In 2012, about 300 and something people died. And of course, the lands and everything that have been devastated, this is far worse. It's huge. The entire Bayelsa, for example, apart from maybe government house and a few facilities, is under the water. Similar situation in some parts of Delta, in some parts of rivers, in some parts, you can go on and on and on. Over 2,000 homes are under the water. And of course, millions of people are displaced and their IDP camps, and of course, children out of school is something you cannot imagine. And everything. So for me, I don't even think it was not just stopping campaign. What I saw is far more than I can imagine. In terms of donation or bread, providing bread, I've never provided any food, be it one bread to any thing. Whatever you must have seen is what people brought on their own to where I visited. What I've known is to ask those who are involved or areas where I've went, I've asked the state or anybody that is coordinating them to give me a bank account so I can help. But what I found in some of the IDP camps is that when I was going around and talking to the people who are there, they will tell you that they don't even have 1 naira. So what I've done immediately, I say, okay, how many people are here? And they will say there are 2,000 or 3,000, as the case may be. I can say, okay, why don't you give them this 2 million or 3 million or 5 million so they can just share so that people can have, even if it's 1 naira. Some of them were begging me, sir, give us 100 naira. So we can also, because the government are struggling to feed them, but nobody is giving them even 1 naira. So I'm going to contribute. Ruben, I've been involved in this type of service far before I became governor. And you know yourself very well that in 2012, I came to Jonathan and said I was going to Haiti when they had an earthquake, and he said, what are you going here to do? I said, that's what I've done all my life, that I and my family have been involved in such situations all over the world. While we were still talking there, I showed him my sons, that I withdraw my son in school. We were going to Haiti. I went to Haiti. The ambassador then will tell you, police people there will tell you, just was in Haiti. And my son that I withdrew from school. We were there for a week, and I was serving governor. So it's not just that today I started doing this. You must intervene. That is the purpose. In Nigeria, the situation is hopeless. If anything Nigeria is supposed to be doing now is dealing with this issue.
All right. And that's why the call for, season of campaign is germane at this point, and other candidates who, have responded, donated, and things like that. But let's go straight to it. Two things. Number one will be, what will be your solution to the climate change problem? Because there's climate change, there's also the dam problem. And that dam problem, too, that we've not done to embark for Lado is also a problem that once Lado was opened, this was affected. And secondly, there's been talk about ecological funds. And I'd like to ask you, while you were governor, what did you do with your own ecological funds? and coupled with the fact that you were also governor in a state that after you left in 2017, Onitsha was said to be one of the most polluted cities in the world. In fact, it had 10 PMS, particulate matters. So let's talk about that.
Well, let me start by my own. I'll start with what you asked about Onitsha. You can go and ask Professor Folade of UN Habitat. I was the first governor ever in Nigeria to approach UN Habitat on urban renewal because of Onitsha. Followed it through by visiting the UN Habitat office in Kenya for them to help us to redesign and do the urban renewal of Onitsha, Newi, and Oka. It's a clear studies. UN Habitat is there. They listen to what I'm saying. I followed it through. On issue of ecological fund and everything, go and read, and I shall forward it to you today. Who is the chief architect of New Map, which is what they are doing today? It was me who went to President Yaradua and told him that the federal government cannot fund erosion menace in Nigeria, especially in the southeast. That the only way to do it is to bring a long-term loan from federal government, from World Bank, with federal government contribution and the state contribution to deal with this issue. That was how New Map was designed. Between me, John Ode, the governors of the Southeast, the New Map you're seeing today, and I'll show you the records. So that I've been involved in all this. I've always believed, yes, there might be, somebody can say, oh, your house is still very dirty, but they don't know how you met it and what you have been able to clean. But like I said, go and verify these two things I said today. My involvement with UN Habitat, how we went to Kenya, who was the first governor to do this. Go and look at the records of the New Map. I'll show you later from the ministry, signed by John Ode. You see my contribution to the New Map, which is what everybody is using today to be able to fight the ecological fund and everything. And what will I do in terms of this menace to stop this flooding? There's a combination of so many things that you need to do. You've talked about the issue of on dam. We short of the issue, even the minister said it's the rainfall, it's not the dam issue. But if you take the average rainfall in the past 20 years, since 2001, it's remained similar, which means it's predictable the amount of flood that is going to come. But the issue is that you have refused to dredge your rivers. You need to dredge River Benue, you need to dredge River Niger. If you do River Niger and from Barrow in Niger State down to the Atlantic Ocean and everything, so your water is silted. So you find out that there's no ability to hold drainage, and of course the tributaries and everything is part of what is causing this menace. And the rivers are no longer contributing to your economic growth as it should be, because you've not done anything. And you find a lot of contracts, several contracts have been awarded to this dredge, which nobody knows where it is or what has happened to it. These are things you need to do to be able to contain this. We have these two rivers put together. For example, if we do this, we'll be able, from one of the studies, even that they said to me recently, and Austin Navarro showed me, it will be able to contribute what River Nile is contributing to Egypt. And River Nile is about 600, I think it's 6,650 kilometers long.
I'll verify.
If you look at it, I'm sure Niger, I think, is about 4,000 plus, and River Benue is about 1,400. These two put together is at least 1,000 short of the length of River Nile.
Nile is 6,650 kilometers.
So you can see it. And Niger, I think, is 4,184, something like that. So if you combine these two, that's up to River Nile. If Egypt can keep Nile, dredging it, desilting it, making it work, contributing to the economy and everything, tourism and everything, why can't we do this over several years? So these are things we need to do. These are things where I will start ensuring that if we award the contract, we're not going to do it overnight, that at least it is working. If we have been doing it, if you drive in the dry season over River Niger, which I drive every day, you could see that you can even walk on the river. So it's something that is solvable.
Okay, Mr. Peter Obi, you recall that popular saying, you are referring to River Nile. They say no Nile, no Egypt. Mm-hmm. That's how strategic.
That's what it should be. No Niger, no Benue.
But I want to ask you, before you joined us, we were talking about the manifesto of the All Progressives Congress and Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And I made a comment that all of you presidential candidates, you say the same things. Security, economy, I will build infrastructure, I will create jobs. No, we are not dumb. We know, everybody's just saying the same thing all over the place. And we keep asking the question that if there's any lesson we should learn from what has happened in Great Britain, it's about how do you do it? A whole prime minister has spent less than 50 days because she couldn't figure out how to do it. She and her chancellor, they're out. Even Boris Johnson, that in Nigerian terms would easily have been headed back to office. I said, no. It looks like this matter has gone past, the elbow. So what is the difference, really? How are you different from the other candidates? Because all of you seem to be saying the same things.
Ruben, all of us are saying the same thing. I said it repeatedly. What makes a difference in this is who can we trust? What this election is about is trust. You are promising the same thing. Rufai is promising the same thing. Can we look at the antecedents of Rufai? Things he has promised in the past. How he delivered it. Or attempted to deliver it. He must have attempted to do it. Who do we trust among these people? Who among these people can we say have the character, the competence, the capacity, the commitment to at least do what he or she is saying? That is what differentiates us. It's not people are promised in the past. We've had promises that our dollar was going to be 1 to 1. Now we are almost 800 to 1, and nobody's saying anything. We've had promises where we are told agriculture is going to be this. The things I'm promising, and that is why, Ruben, I keep saying, we do not need, all these fanciful, very good-looking manifestos or documents that are written. Let the people come and talk. You mentioned about Britain. What when resolved is not because what he promised he cannot deliver. Honorably, he pack a suitcase and go out because you cannot deliver what you promised. Everything fell apart. And they're not looking at her background. So within a few years, Britain have had Boris Johnson, who is a Turkish descent. They've had somebody from British descent. They're not going to have somebody from Indian descent. They're not asking about their background. They're not asking about what they go. They're asking about their competence, their capacity, what they can do.
All right, my great and wonderful people. We did very sorry, so we just need to leave you to watch that video to this extent, honestly, because this interview to us, it did very, very sensitive and also interesting. Yes, because it did good for the person when they say you want to send a message like this, is sit down, they talk from your own brain to let you know waiting in know and waiting it will feel offer. Yes, this one as you see Peter Obi in all whole paper, is sit down to engage journalists to let them know waiting in know and waiting in sabi. Now, so we're supposed to see the rest of them. And thank God you don't hear from your own mouth everything when it be said in the review, and the questions when it be said that don't ask him concerning the present situation when it be said it be before Nigeria today, and also the responses when it be said it don't give to those questions. Then I will leave you to be the judge. This kind of person when it be say yes with the sinner. Now the kind of person when it be say yes, he will feel stand out honestly to really deliver waiting in talk. Just as you don't hear and just say, we call the rest of others to they engage us, although every of our manifestos resemble the same. Engagement matters. Not be the one who basically you will send your representative to come hold sheet of paper to the read to us waiting you don't copy from online. It's not supposed to be like that. This one at the time when basically they need to engage us, show us their brain capacity and their own resilience to everything when they say yes, people need to throw to them. Not be after they don't enter office before we come they test them. No, this one at the moment of testing to know who these people really are. All right, my great and wonderful people, I will leave una make una share una opinion with us on the comment section. And before we draw the line here, want quickly use this medium to appreciate each and every one of you for your time when you say stay with us up to this moment. God Almighty will bless you. And also the way when they help us to share this broadcast, your likes, your comment, all of them, we appreciate them. I bet make you not forget to help us share this very one so that we still reach our brothers and sisters all over the world, because we believe we want to say information, not power. And as you do so, God Almighty will bless you. And we would like to draw the conclusion of this program here. We will see you again when we see you. Remember, we love you all. Bye-bye.